Welcome to the first edition of the Hawk Archives, where we go back in the vault, dust off some old VHS tapes of some memorable moments in Hillcrest history. Hi, I'm Justin Edgecombe. In today's episode, we travel back in time to the year 1994, where Tom Capel and the Hawks returned to St. Francis College to play in a tournament hosted by Joliet Catholic Academy. Captain Tyrone Colbreth was determined to place in the tourney and start the regular season off with a win. Due to injury of starting point guard Barry Bradford, Tyrone Colbreth takes over the reins of PG and has to rely on teammate Corey Jackson for offense, and an emerging guard by the name of Greg G-Ball Simmons. So get your popcorn ready and enjoy the game as they take on the Hilltoppers in this episode of the Hawk Archives.
So the Hawks will be Colbreth and Simmons at the guards, Clark and Okasili at the forwards, and Corey Jackson, he's a sort of a forward, but he'll play the big man down low. It'll be Wills and O'Brien at the guards, Freeman, small forward, Rodegaro, the power forward, and the big 6'8" Doug Dargousis at center.
Tonight's officials, Jim Sellers and Ernie Williams, to send us off in the 1994 tournament here. Doug Dargousis will tip it up against Danny Clark of Hillcrest. Joliet Catholic in their home whites, trimmed in the blue and brown. Hillcrest High School Hawks in their road blue, trimmed in the white. We're set to go for the sixth and final game of the tournament. Tap controlled by the Hilltoppers. Freeman opens things up. Freeman has Colbreth come out on him. Nearly a steal. Freeman controls it, gets it to Wills. Wills on the near side, up top O'Brien. Finds Wills on the wing to Rodegaro baseline. He's double teamed in the corner. Finds Dargousis down low. Dargousis turnaround shot is slapped out of bounds, and it went over the backboard. It'll go to the Hawks.
Interesting defense by Hillcrest as they open up in the wide 2-3 zone. Not the 1-3-1 trap we're used to seeing, in that 2-3 zone. So Tom Capel changing it up.
Colbreth at the controls for the Hawks, brings it across on Wills. Moving it past Wills, stops in the baseline, comes out to Clark. Clark moving it into the lane. Nice dish out to Jackson. Can't get the lay-in. Jackson gets his own lay-in and goes and scores.
Corey Jackson, very persistent throughout the tournament. The leading scorer for Hillcrest gets his first two.
O'Brien the other way for the Hilltoppers. Gives it off to Wills. Wills on the wing back up top. O'Brien. Bounce pass to Wills. Dargousis trying to find him down low. Cross it to Wills. O'Brien, top of the key. Now to Freeman. Ball on the floor. Run down by Freeman. Backs it out. Nice pass to Dargousis. Baseline jumper in the way. Yes.
Good job by Freeman with that wide 2-3 zone. It's susceptible to penetration. Ty right there gets the penetration, finds the open man to Dargousis, and he buries it.
Colbreth the other way. Okasili is going to be called for the walk. Chika Okasili gets called for too many steps, and it'll go the other way. 2-2, just into the start of the ball game. Wills gets it into O'Brien, and the Hilltoppers will move it across the timeline. Wills with it on the wing, stops, goes to Rodegaro, baseline. Wills in a little trouble, and a pushing foul is going to be called on Greg Simmons of the Hawks. He got in front of Kevin Wills. The Hilltoppers will retain possession.
We're going to see it all tournament long. There you see the hand check by Simmons and the foul. The refs aren't going to allow hand checking.
Inbounded to Wills. Finds O'Brien on the wing. Now Dargousis, baseline left side. Inside, stolen away by Colbreth. Colbreth trying to go coast to coast. His pass is broken up. Controlling it is Dargousis. Hilltoppers the other way. Wills finds Freeman. Freeman, top of the key, goes to Wills. Now to Dargousis. Baseline jumper on the way. Not good this time. Dargousis chasing his own rebound, but gets the hand of Danny Clark, and that'll be a foul on Darguzes.
Danny Clark, good box on Darguzes, going hard after the basketball. Doug can't get there in time. He gets called for the personal foul. He misses the shot, tries to get the rebound, but Danny Clark on the good box out.
So Culbreth will bring it the other way for the Hawks. We're tied at 2. 5:45 left to go in the first. And we have a foul called, I believe, on O'Brien of Joliet Catholic.
And they were looking for a clear call by Corey Jackson. This game has been physical early. Both teams shoving each other down low. So we'll have to watch that closely.
Culbreth gets it in, fakes the 3, takes it into the lane. Nice dish off to Simmons. The jumper on the way, no good. Rebound comes down to Rodegaro, and he gets it to Wills. Now to O'Brien, and the Hilltoppers will set it up. Freeman with it, top of the key. Swings it to Darguzes on the baseline. Nice dish up to Rodegaro. His shot is rejected, but a foul is called. Rodegaro will go to the line for 2 shots.
Okasili thought he got all basketball. He might have. But you got to get better position, be in front of the man if you want to make the block. And right there, as you can see, on a good pass, Okasili gets the basketball, but he gets body. You're not going to get a block by a referee when you get him from behind.
Joliet Catholic hitting 78% of its free throws. 32 out of 42 in the first 2 games. First shot on the way is in and out, no good for Rodegaro. 5:15 left to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 2. And Rodegaro will attempt the second shot. On the way and in. Simmons gets to Culbreth, and the Hawks the other way. Bounce pass to Clark. Clark brings it out top. Stops, top of the key. Tries to find it. It's stolen away by O'Brien. O'Brien. Pass is broken up by
what
Clark.
What a play by Danny Clark. Nice
Okasili the other way. Simmons is all alone, and he lays it in.
That play, a 2-on-1 breakaway, and Danny Clark is hurt on the ground. There was a 2-on-1 breakaway by JCA, and only Danny Clark was back, and he made a great defensive play to get a hand out and make the steal. And I think he got hurt. When he came down, he might have landed on the basketball. I think that's what it was.
He looks like it is his stomach. He might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. As he said, he came down on the ball. But it's 4-3 Hillcrest High School lead with 4:48 left to go.
And we talked about the key to this game for Hillcrest is Danny Clark playing defensively. He did a good job versus Providence. And the thing about Danny Clark, we talked about him being the quarterback of the football team. You know, he was all-conference quarterback, but he also was an all-conference linebacker. He was all-conference both sides of the ball. And so far for Hillcrest, he is their main defender. Especially when you're going against a player like Doug Darguzes, you're going to have to be a good defender.
Clark looks like he's okay. On plays like that, when you get the wind knocked out of you, you just got to let it take its course for a few minutes. But Clark looks like he's okay. And Joliet Catholic will have possession of the ball. Wiping up the floor right now, referee, and we'll get back to action. I want to remind you this game is being simulcast live in stereo on 88.7 FM WCSF. Joliet Township collected its second straight tournament championship. Went into tournament 3-0, defeating these 3 teams: Joliet Catholic, Hillcrest, and Providence Catholic. And now we have a meeting between Tom Capel and the 2 referees. I don't know what they could be discussing.
Possible substitution maybe, as Caston is up off the bench.
I don't know if they're saying that Clark maybe has to come out for just a series. And looks like Caston will, I don't know if he's going to sit back down or not.
Caston will come into the ball game. Danny Clark will take a breather.
I think that's what it is. That's what happened. Danny Clark was injured on the floor, so he has to come out for at least a series. But he'll go right back to the bench and be ready to check back in.
I think anytime a trainer has to come on the floor, that's when they signify an injury.
O'Brien brings it across the timeline. Freeman with it. Now to Wills. Here comes that trap. Rodiguero on the baseline. Skips it to Freeman. Inside Darguzes. Darguzes fakes his man, goes up and can't get the bucket to go, but he's fouled instead. He'll go to the line.
Good movement there by Doug Darguzes against Okasilli. Gets his man in the air, draws body contact. He'll go to the line for two. As there's a nice entry pass. Darguzes far out, is he a little too far out than he would like to be, hoping it wouldn't go down, but it didn't.
We're going to say the foul occurred before the shot, so it'll be Freeman to inbounds. 4.5 to go. 4-3 is our score in the first quarter. Freeman gets it in. Rodiguero now to Wills, and he'll set things up. Wills goes to Freeman again. The long three on the way from the baseline. He's short. Rodiguero's there, and he puts it in, and he's fouled.
I think it's going to go on Okasilli. That'll be his third personal foul here in the early going, only in the first quarter. As he doesn't like that call, as you see the errant shot by Freeman, there's Rodiguero Okasilli right on his back, and a foul called. And that will be on Chico Okasilli, his third personal foul.
And it'll be Rodiguero at the line to try to complete the three-point play. Joliet Catholic with the 1-point lead right now. Rodiguero's shot on the way is no good. Jackson is there to clean it up. Coming the other way, Caston. Caston goes down low to Clark. Back to Caston. Free throw line jumper on the way. In and out, no. Freeman is there. And Freeman's going to get called for too many steps. Again, starting to take off before he started dribbling. So Hillcrest will have the ball down by 1. 4:07 to go in the first quarter. Quickly inbounded to Jackson, and now Culbreth back to Caston. Caston on the near court, brings it out near the timeline. Working on Rodiguero. That's a mismatch. I don't know what Rodiguero's doing on Caston. And a 5-second call. Maybe that's why.
That's Caston right there. He didn't realize it. With that dribbling rule, if the player's closely guarding you 4 or 5 seconds, it's a call. And Caston didn't realize it. A heads-up play right there by Jason Caston.
Walter LaSure enters the lineup, replacing Caston for the Hawks. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And we're back underway. Joliet Catholic with the 1-point lead. O'Brien gives it to Wills. Wills stops, takes the long two. In and out, no. Jackson is there off of his hands, and it'll stay with Joliet Catholic.
Wills right there, tough shot. He's been a smart player throughout the tournament right there. I don't think that was one of his best shots. And Darguzes couldn't get the rebound as it went off Jackson.
Freeman gets it into Wills, top of the key. Wills has to back it out. Here comes that trap. Freeman with it. Wills swings it to Rodiguero, looking down low. Ball slapped out of his hands, and a foul will be called on Clark as he reached in on Rodiguero.
Danny Clark being very aggressive, going hard after him, but just stand your ground. You don't need to reach in and make a foolish foul. And Danny Clark goes hard after the offensive player, but reaches in and gets him across the face.
Clark's first personal foul. Freeman to inbounds. Gets it in quickly to Wills. Back to Freeman. Thought about the three, driving it inside the baseline, and now has to back it out. Good defense by the Hawks. Inside to O'Brien. Nice pass to Darguzes. Down low to Rodiguero, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Joliet Catholic.
And quick hands are by Tyrone Culbreth to knock it out of bounds. Otherwise, a great pass from Darguzes to Rodiguero.
Freeman to inbounds. Gets it into O'Brien on the baseline. Trying to drive past Simmons. Stopped in the corner. Comes out to Freeman. Freeman backs it out. Good defense by Culbreth. Inside. Stolen away by Clark. Long pass to Culbreth. He's there, and he can't get the lay-in. And we're going to go the other way. A foul on Hillcrest. .304 left to go in the first quarter.
Tindall rebound, nice pass. Culbreth, he's got to finish it. Jackson is there, and there's a foul on O'Brien.
So it'll be Culbreth to inbounds for the Hawks. Gets it into Simmons. Thought about the three. Trying to drive the baseline. Can't get around Freeman. Nice pass to Clark. Clark comes up to Simmons. Simmons will launch the wild two. No good. Narducci. Long pass to Freeman. Knocked away. Goes out of bounds. And with just under 3 minutes to go, it'll stay with Joliet Catholic. 5-4 is our score. Joliet Catholic with the 1-point lead. And we have a timeout on the court with 2:49 left to go in the first quarter. So let's take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This tournament is underwritten in part by G. Frederick Edmiston, DDS MS, Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeon, 302 North Hamus Avenue, Joliet, 741-0302. Tezak Funeral Home, first in service since 1908, 459 North Ottawa Street, Joliet, 722-0524. Sweats Happening Incorporated, customized screen printing and embroidery, 2203 Plainfield Road, Joliet. Phone 744-7411. George K's Music, guitars, drums, keyboards, amps, and more. 822 Plainfield Road, Joliet. Phone 727-4656. Classic Looks North, hair care for men and women. 3595 Hennepin Drive, Joliet. 436-2106. Don's Body Shop. They take the dents out of accidents. 1927 Donmar Drive, Crest Hill. 729-1400. Imperial Electronics. Satellite receiving system, master antenna system, home and commercial. 1312 West Jefferson, Joliet. Phone 729-0161. Douglas L. Zeek, attorney at law. 16 West Van Buren Street in the Mode Theater Building, Joliet. 727-4850. Kodo Pharmacy, 1522 East Washington Street. Phone 727-4721. And Joliet Professional Pharmacy, 2100 Glenwood Avenue, Joliet. Phone 725-9314. And Lieberman's Jewelers, established in 1889. 81 North Ottawa Street in Joliet, 727-6466.
Welcome back to the College of St. Francis Recreation Center in Joliet, Illinois. 5-4 in favor of Joliet Catholic. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Joliet Catholic will have possession. Freeman to inbounds, gets it in quickly to Rodegaro and now to Wills. Wills, here comes that double team, nearly loses it, now nearly throws it out of bounds. Jackson comes the other way. Jackson going all the way, layup good.
Good job by Corey Jackson. Hand over man in the wing. Decided against it, goes hard in the hole, gets the 2.
Hillcrest takes the 1-point lead, 6-5. Wills across the timeline. Again, another steal. Culbreth to Simmons. Simmons goes up and scores.
Good body control by Simmons, getting the 2 as Hillcrest starting to play that pressure D, and hopefully they can pull away.
Freeman working it across to Wills. Back to Freeman, almost another steal. Freeman controls it, and then they throw it out of bounds.
When you get a hand on the pass, that forces the offense to adjust to either a better angle or a higher lofted pass. Right there, Kai Freeman threw a too high of a pass and out of bounds.
Inbounded to Culbreth. Culbreth trying to go coast to coast. Is hacked on the way to the hoop. Picking up the foul, I believe Doug Darguzes or Matt Narducci for the Hilltoppers. I think it's Matt Narducci on the foul. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first. 8-5. Hillcrest with the lead. And it'll be Culbreth at the line for 2 shots.
Tyrone Culbreth was a little off tournament. One of the senior leaders on this team, usually one of the best free throw shooters. He's even struggling with that. I think once he gets by this tournament, gets a feel for his game, the way season's going to go, he'll step it up later in the year.
Culbreth gets 1 out of 2 on his trip, and it's a 9-5 Hillcrest lead. Van Tassel into the lineup now for the Hilltoppers. Finds Freeman on the far court, back to Van Tassel, and he works it across. Freeman on the other side. Skips it to Van Tassel, back to Freeman. Freeman, bounce pass, another almost steal. Rodegaro controls it, and Darguzes has it. Nice pass to Van Tassel, and he lays it in.
Nice play by Doug Darguzes, finding the open man for the easy 2. Unselfish play.
9-7 the score. Minute 23 left to go. Culbreth controls the loose ball. Finds Corey Jackson, and Jackson stepped on the line. It'll go back to the Hilltoppers.
Two method mistakes right there. First, Tyrone Culbreth, usually a good ball handler, loses control, has to pick up his dribble, and Corey Jackson doesn't know where the court is. His foot's on the line. JCA possession.
John O'Brien into the lineup, replacing Darguzes. Van Tassel, nice pass to Freeman on the far court. Back to Van Tassel. Now to Freeman again. Freeman, Van Tassel on the wing. Back to Freeman. Goes down low the baseline to Narducci. He's in a little trouble. Ball stolen away by the Hawks. Culbreth in the early offense. Nice pass to LaSure, but he can't control it. And Freeman will come the other way for the Hilltoppers. Freeman trying to go all the way. Nice pass to Rodriguez.
Here's blocked by Clark.
Narducci throws it out of bounds.
We talked about him defensively the whole tournament. We haven't mentioned his name offensively at all. Danny Clark coming up with a big block. They don't bring it to my neighborhood.
And Tom Capel is going to call a timeout with 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and it's a 9-7 Hillcrest Hawks lead.
Right now, the difference has been in the recent going is Hillcrest is playing better defense. They're getting their hands on more passes, but right now, they're not finishing. They're getting hands on more passes. In the Providence game, they were getting those loose balls. Right now, they're not. Joliet Catholic's playing just as hard, getting on the floor, getting after it, so we still have a close game, even though Hillcrest is playing better defensively right now.
Yeah, you would have thought that maybe Hillcrest, maybe their logic in not going immediately to that 1-3-1 trap just to see what Joliet Catholic was going to do. And after they saw what they did, they got into the ball game. They kept it close. It's still close, but Hillcrest has gotten a couple of turnovers and some quick points with that trapping defense.
Yeah, usually if you can change it up every once in a while, that'll throw the offense off. I think Kevin Loss was looking for that 1-3-1 zone, and then when he saw the 2-3, he didn't know what to expect, so he had to adapt to that, and once they adapted to that, Tom Campbell switched it back up again, 1-3-1, caused some turnovers, some easy baskets.
Hillcrest will have possession, 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and 9-7 in favor of the Hawks. Caston gets it into Culbreth. He'll give it back to Caston. Caston. Narducci, the reach and foul. And that is only the 5th team foul. 5 team fouls apiece. 32 seconds left to go now, so no shots as of yet. And now checking into the lineup will be Aaron Capista for the Hilltoppers, replacing Narducci. Caston to inbounds. Caston looking, gets it into Clark. Now back to Culbreth. Still in the backcourt, and he'll walk it across on Van Tassel. Splits the defenders, going into the lane. Wild pass, and a traveling is called on Tyrone Culbreth.
And part of that caused by Aaron Capista. Capista was a little late getting there, but Tyrone Culbreth bumped him, which caused him to travel. Couldn't get the pass off to Clark. You see Culbreth comes in, he bumps into the defensive player, which caused the traveling.
Capista finds Freeman. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Freeman in a little trouble. Crosses it to Van Tassel. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Freeman chases down the loose ball. Freeman has it go off to his foot, and Van Tassel can't save it. 3 seconds left to go, and Hillcrest is going to get one final shot in the first. Caston. The long pass into Clark. Clark, nice pass to Simmons. He launches the shot. No good, and that's the end of the first quarter. Close ball game, 9-7 in favor of the Hawks.
The first real defensive effort we've seen in this tournament, as we've seen a lot of scoring, some great shooting through the whole tournament. Both teams shot poorly, but they played good defense, so we're in for a defensive clinic today, Kevin.
Yeah, normally we'd see one team in double figures and one team in single figures. Well, both of them are in single figures in this ball game in the first quarter. So we'll take a break and be back with the second quarter right after this.
The Journalism Communications Department of the College of St. Francis offers 4 exciting areas of concentration. For more information on our programs, call the College of St. Francis at 740-3400. That's 740-3400.
And welcome back to the College of St. Francis Recreation Center. 9-7 the score. Hillcrest with the 2-point lead, just about set to start the second quarter of play. Hillcrest to have possession to start the second quarter. In our earlier game, Joliet Township was a winner over Providence, 65-52, and they captured their second straight Classic crown. And we are underway in the second quarter. Caston with the ball, finds Culbreth, baseline. Culbreth goes to Simmons. Simmons down low to Jackson, and he lays it in.
Simmons finally open Jackson's lead for the easy
2. 11-7 in favor of the Hawks. Capista finds Van Tassel. Here comes the trap again. Knocked out of his hand. And a foul is going to be called, I think, on Kai Freeman as Jackson was starting the fast break offense once again. And that is the 6th team foul. Kai Freeman picks up the foul. That is his first and the team's 6th.
Take a look at the first quarter statistics. Hillcrest only 40% shooting, 4 of 10. JCA 50%, only 6 shots though, 3 of 6. Turnovers, big one. JCA 11 turnovers, Hillcrest 7 in the first quarter.
Wow. Coming the other way, Hillcrest, and Culbreth cans the 10-footer. Capista the other way. Finds Freeman. Freeman tries to get through the Garguzes on the baseline to Capista, and Clark, I believe, is going to be called for his second personal foul, a push-off on Garguzes. And now Emmett Smith will enter the lineup for the Hawks. He'll replace Danny Clark.
Emmett Smith could be a key factor in this game. Going against Darguzes, he needs to put a big body on him. He loses some height, but he gains it up in weight.
Freeman to inbounds. Gets it into Van Tassel. Van Tassel on the far court to Freeman, baseline. Freeman double teamed and knocks it off of a Hillcrest player, and he'll stay with the Hilltoppers.
The Hillcrest bench arguing for Hillcrest, as it was right in front of the officials. Said no way, off Hillcrest, JCA possession.
Freeman to inbounds right in front of the Hillcrest bench. And got something with the crowd right now. Let's give the ball to Freeman and get underway here. Freeman looking, still looking. Finally comes into Van Tassel. Back to Freeman on the baseline. Drives the baseline, stops, triple teamed, and we have a tie-up. It'll stay with the Hilltoppers.
Good job there by Hillcrest. Reaching in, grabbing a piece of the ball as Kai Freeman tried to go to the hole. Nothing doing. JCA retains possession. You see Kai Freeman goes to the hole. Battle underneath, Emmett Smith and Kai Freeman, jump ball.
Freeman gets it into Rodagero up top. Van Tassel, and now to Capista, back to Freeman. Freeman trying to split the double team. Goes to Van Tassel, and he can't can the free throw line jumper. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Smith. Gets to Culbreth, now to Caston. Hawks the other way. Caston still behind the timeline, works it across on Capista. Now to Simmons on the baseline near side. Simmons driving it in the lane. Spin move, and a good call by the official as Simmons took too many steps as he tried that spin move.
At the other end, on that rebound by Hillcrest, Darguzes looked like he was shaken up a little bit as he collided with Emmett Smith. And there you see the turnaround by Simmons, and clearly a traveling violation.
Capista, Van Tassel, and now to Rodagero on the baseline. Rodagero knocks it off of Smith, but a foul is called on Emmett Smith. That is the 7th team foul, and Rodagero will be at the line for 1-1. Joliet Catholic gets to score here in the second quarter. 13-7 is our score. Hillcrest with the lead. 6:11 left to go in the first half.
Rodagero came into tonight's ball game averaging 4.5 points a game, 9 points to the first 2 games, shooting only 36%, and he made his only free throw attempt coming into tonight's ball game.
Radaguero's second shot a little bit short. Ball tapped around, and who's got it? Jackson lost it out of bounds, looks like, but they're going to say it went off Darguz's, and it's going to go to the Hawks. Caston and Culbreth, the guard tandem for Hillcrest. Caston working across on Capista, finds Simmons on the baseline. Simmons up top, Culbreth, steal by Van Tassel. Van Tassel the other way, goes up and can't get it to go off the glass. Simmons is there, but comes down with it. Radaguero, no. Putback, no good. Finally, Culbreth controls it. Long pass to Caston. Caston all alone, the layup is good.
Great job there by Hillcrest and Tyrone Culbreth, hustling every time, getting a loose ball and throwing the deep pass.
15-8. Hillcrest with the lead. Cross-court pass to Freeman. And Freeman, here comes that trap again. Van Tassel with it. Back to Freeman, top of the key. Thought about the three, takes it into the lane. Running jumper, good.
Good job by Kai Freeman. A little slow starting here in the game. Was looking for the three-point shot, but no, went in and took the two.
Caston the other way. O'Brien and Will set to check in for the Hilltoppers. Caston throws it out of bounds. Was looking for Corey Jackson on the baseline. It's a little bit over his head, and now O'Brien and Wills will come into the lineup, as will Doug Cowan. For the Hilltoppers, Walter LaSure and Danny Clark come back into the lineup for the Hawks, replacing Smith and Caston. 5 minutes on the nose to go in the first half, 15-10 in favor of the Hawks. O'Brien and Wills back at the guard spot for the Hilltoppers. O'Brien finds Wills, bounce pass to Cowan, and he loses it to Clark. Clark gets it to Culbreth. Culbreth, long pass to LaSure to Simmons. Simmons, baseline jumper on the way, a little bit hard. Jackson is there. Jackson goes back up and rolls it in.
And that's right over Doug Darguz, taking right at the big man, saying, I ain't afraid of you, I'm going right at you.
Freeman with it on the far court. Bounce pass to Wills, Inside to O'Brien. Nice pass down low. Slapped out of bounds by Jackson. And they're going to say it went off Darguz's. Back to the Hawks.
Right now, JC in a little bit of trouble. They're rushing their passes. You got to get to that wide zone. You got to be very patient and penetrate it.
And a blocking foul going to be called on Danny Clark. I don't know. It looked like he set a good screen on that play, but they're saying he's going to move to. He moved a little bit too much, and that's number 3 on Danny Clark.
That could be a big factor. Danny Clark's doing a good job today. He's made some key steals, throwing the body around. Not a big offensive threat, but he's big. He's 6'3". He's really built. He weighs about 200 pounds. He's out there to make some steals, get some rebounds, throw the body around, and he can't do that when he's on the bench.
Freeman at the line for 1-1. Trying to cut into this 7 points Hillcrest lead. Freeman's first shot on the way, good. So it's 17-11 in favor of Hillcrest. 4:19 left to go in the first half. In our first game, Joliet Township was a winner over Providence, 65-52. Freeman's second shot on the way, also good. Smith gets it in to Simmons, and he'll give it up to Culbreth. Culbreth, bounce pass to Jackson on the baseline, taking it into the lane, running jump on the way, no. Reverse layup is no good, and Smith is there, can't put it in, tapped around. And we have a stoppage in play called on Hillcrest player. They'll go to the other end. Walter LaSure picks up the foul for the Hawks.
At the beginning of that play, Corey Jackson went right after Doug Darguz, put an air ball. That time, Doug was intimidating. He was a factor. When you're 6'8", if you don't get a block, at least put a hand in the face, cause an air ball. And that caused the havoc and the foul on Walter LaSure.
Caston replacing LaSure in the lineup for the Hawks. And it'll be Darguz is at the line for 1-1. Darguz's first shot on the way, good. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a talk with General Manager of WCSF Radio, Bob Zach, and also the Joliet Catholic Academy cheerleaders.
Coming into today's game, Darguz is averaging 14 points a game, 6 rebounds, and shooting 71% from the field.
Second shot is no good. Jackson comes down with the board, and Caston the other way for the Hawks. Caston splits it splits the double team, goes down low to Jackson. Jackson, and a foul will be called. I don't know if it'll be before the shot. No, they're going to say Jackson was in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line for 2.
Even though Hillcrest is underside versus JCA, they're attacking it right inside. They're going right to the post, and Corey Jackson, he's taking it right to him. Even though Hillcrest is undersized, they're not afraid to go inside.
Jackson at the line for 2 shots, just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. First shot on the way is good. And it's an 18-13 lead now for the Hawks. And Jackson will get the second opportunity. Second shot on the way, also good. Back to a 6-point lead for the Hawks. And the Hilltoppers will bring it across. O'Brien comes across to Wills. Wills on the near court. Stops. Nice pass down low to Darguzes, but he loses it. Run down by Freeman. Freeman will have to back it out, and reach and foul is going to be called. Tom Capel can't believe it. He wanted to walk on Kai Freeman. I think it's going to go on Tyrone Culbreth, and that's his first.
Questionable call. You can say the walk was caused by the contact, as Hillcrest is putting tremendous pressure on Kai Freeman. 2 players in his face. The contact was there, but did the walk come first or second? The referee said, no walk, just a foul.
So Freeman at the line for 1-1. Again, trying to cut into the 6-point lead. First shot on the way is rattling in and out of there. No good. Coming down with it is Culbreth. Nice pass to Captain. It's a 3-on-1. Simmons is all alone, and he lays it in.
Hillcrest is a transition team, and they run the fast break better than anybody I've seen in this tournament. They give the ball up well, and they're unselfish players.
O'Brien the other way. Another steal. Throwing it back into the line. Caston runs it down. Caston the other way. Tries to pass it off to Jackson, but a foul before the shot. But again, Sean, I think you said it, the fast break offense. Joliet Township, yeah, they're a fast break offense, but Hillcrest has been running it to perfection. I really think so.
Hillcrest is an athletic team right there. You saw Simmons with the save. He just threw it in the air. He knows Hillcrest is such an athletic team. They have a chance to get it. Caston right there, took it to the hole, draws body contact, but he made the nice pass. If there wasn't a contact, he gave an easy layup. That's one thing with a fast break. Hit the ball to the middle of the court. When you do that, hit a wing player, and you have an easy basket every time.
We'll take a break and be back with the final 3:15 of the first half right after this.
WCSF 88.7 FM presents The Spirit of Christmas, the greatest Christmas songs of all time. Non-stop holiday music, December 1st to 31st, with no commercials and no interruptions. A Christmas gift to you from us, the College of St. Francis, and 88.7 FM, WCSF.
21-13 in favor of the Hillcrest High School Hawks. 3:15 left to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a talk with General Manager of WCSF Radio, Bob Zach, and we'll take a look at the Joliet Catholic Academy cheerleaders. I want to remind you this game is being simulcast live in stereo on 88.7 FM, WCSF. Caston will be at the line for the Hawks, trying to extend on this 8-point lead.
Jason Caston averaging 3.5 points per game coming into today's game. He's 3 of 4 from the line in the tournament, but only 2 of 10 from the field, so he's done a good job from the line.
Caston's first shot in and out.
Jinced him. Never fails, Kevin. Every time you read their stats, good job, miss.
Second shot on the way is good for Caston, so he gets 1 out of 2. Here comes the full court press. And O'Brien tried to pass it back to his man who was in the on the baseline there, but stepped out of there too early, and it goes to the Hawks. Inbounded to Jackson. Now it's a steal by Freeman. And Freeman will slow it up. Cross court to O'Brien. O'Brien passes it down low to Cowan. The baseline jumper on the way. In and out, no. Tapped up and in by Darguzes.
What a tip there. Basically, he just tried to tip it to gain possession, ended up going in the hole. Oops, excuse me, 2 points.
Caston the other way, and it's slapped out of bounds. And it'll stay. And the referee Kevin Last wants Joliet Catholic to have the ball, but they're going to say it'll stay with Hillcrest. Went off of Cowan, looks like.
Rodriguero in the ball game. He replaces Cowan.
Culbreth inbounds to Simmons. Simmons on the wing, loses it momentarily, runs it down. Stops, top of the key. Stolen away by O'Brien. O'Brien the other way. Nice spin move. He can't get it to go. Wills is there to clean it up. Rodriguero, baseline jumper, in and out, no. Culbreth runs it down. Culbreth the other way. Nice pass to Simmons. Simmons, turn around, no. O'Brien is stealing. Getting knocked around, but no call. Freeman with it now. Freeman drives the baseline. Stops, pops, and hits.
Finally a basket as the teams are going up and down the court. Hillcrest seems like they're just making one too many passes right about now. And Joliet, they're just out of control. But Kai Freeman under control gets the two.
2:02 left to go in the first half. Caston the other way. He's trying to go all the way. An offensive foul called on Jason Caston. Getting in front of him, Doug Dargus has held his position. It'll go back to the Hilltoppers. And now back into the lineup, John O'Brien for the Hilltoppers.
There you see Caston going hard to the hole. Dargus' good position. He's not only a shot blocker, he's not afraid to take the charge.
1:57 left to go in the first half. Joliet Catholic only down by 5. Wills, cross court to Freeman. Freeman. Bounce pass to Wills. Now to O'Brien, and he goes up, can't get the baseline jumper, tapped around. And a foul will be called on Joliet Catholic. Will go to the other end to shoot the free throws.
Good call there by the official. It goes on Joe O'Brien as Emmett Smith had good rebounding position. Joe O'Brien was on the weak side, but the ball went to the strong side. He tried to switch over real quick and collided with Emmett Smith. And he gets called for the foul. Emmett Smith at the free throw line.
That's number 3 on Joe O'Brien, too. Matt Narducci comes in quickly to replace him, and Emmett Smith at the line for 1-1. Minute 40 left to go in the first half. 22-17, Hillcrest with the lead. Smith at the line, first shot on the way, off the back iron, no good. Tapped around. Jackson able to run it down. In a little trouble, goes up and scores, but I think they're going to wave it off, saying he stepped on the line. It'll go back to the Hillmen.
A good shot from a tough angle, but Corey Jackson under tremendous pressure has been smart just to kick that one back out.
Freeman bringing it across. O'Brien. O'Brien, nice bounce pass, but stolen away by LaShore. Gives it up to Culbreth. Quick hands by the Hawks. Culbreth the other way. Stops. Wild pass down low to Smith. Smith trying to go up. Can't get it off the glass. Tapped around. Narducci's got it. Long pass to Freeman. Freeman on the wing. Trying to split the defenders. Stops. Double team and a reach and foul or wraparound foul called on Tyrone Culbreth. And that'll be number 2 on Culbreth.
As there you see Freeman under tremendous pressure. But the best thing for the Hawks to do is you got him in tremendous pressure. Just stand your ground. Put a hand in the face. Don't reach. Don't try to go for the ball. Make him make the air. And Hillcrest couldn't do that. And Kai Freeman goes to the free throw line.
Trying to cut into this. 5 points. Hillcrest lead, 22-17. Freeman's first shot on the way. In and out, no good. Jackson rips down the board to Simmons. We have a minute to go in the first half. Simmons, top of the key, finds a seam. Ball on the floor, and who's got it? Ball, it rolls out of bounds, and it'll go to the Hilltoppers. Inbounding will be Narducci. Gets it into Wills, and I think Joliet Catholic will probably go for one last shot to end the half. Narducci. Near the timeline in the center court, finds Freeman. Narducci to Wills. Spread offense for the Hilltoppers. And almost another steal there by Corey Jackson, but it sails out of bounds. Joliet Catholic will retain possession.
Good anticipation there by Corey Jackson. They try to take off without the ball. You got to catch the ball first before you can go.
Narducci almost finds Wills and throws it out of bounds, and it'll go back over to the Hawks. 30 seconds to go in the first half.
There's a mental mistake by JCA. 30 seconds to go. You guys take care of the basketball. Don't give Hillcrest a chance to extend the lead.
Culbreth at the controls for the final 22 seconds. And another nice steal by Freeman. Freeman, he's going to try to go coast to coast, loses it, gets it back and lays it in.
What a lucky play there. Kai Freeman lost the ball. Great defense by Culbreth. But as he lost it, went right off the back of Culbreth, right to Freeman for the easy two.
Culbreth. Nice bounce pass on the baseline. LaSure trying to go up. And who got that? It goes in. That counts, I think. Bucket went in. And LaSure gets credited with the basket to end the first half. 24 for the Hawks and 19 for Joliet Catholic Academy.
We thought we only might get one shot from JCA. It turns out both teams get another basket. And two fluke plays, basically. Freeman gets a help from Culbreth for the two, and LaSure gets an 2 points at the other end.
So we'll take a break. Our halftime score, Hillcrest 22, Joliet Catholic 19.
Dealing with injury is a hard thing to fix, especially when your starting center, Danny Clark, goes down before the first half. And with Sheikah in early foul trouble, it seems that Hillcrest has lost its firepower in a low-scoring first half. Tom Capel goes to his bench and requests the efforts of junior big man Emil Smith to contain the inside attack of the Hilltoppers. But will Hillcrest figure out the right combination of players to win the game? I'll see you at the end of the game.
Hillcrest will have possession to start the second half. Simmons will inbound. And we are underway in the second half. Simmons works it across on Freeman. Bounce pass to Culbreth on the baseline. Brings it back out top. Nice pass to LaSure. And a wild shot on the way is no good for Simmons. Ball on the floor, run down by Rodegaro. And he gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien double teamed in the backcourt, splits it, and a foul is called on Greg Simmons.
And that'll be his second personal foul, as O'Brien did a good job of breaking the double team. Hillcrest had him trapped, except usually when you do a trap, you usually like to square the person in, and they just had a man on each side. It was easy to break that, and Simmons just tried to reach in and try to make the steal, but he gets called for the foul.
O'Brien will come across the timeline. Wills with it, comes to Freeman. Now up top, O'Brien. O'Brien finds Freeman again. Now out O'Brien again, swings it over to Wills on the far court. Back to O'Brien and out of Freeman. Freeman cross court to Wills. Nice pass on low to Rodegaro, off the glass. No, Darguzis is there and he lays it in. Good defense there by Emmett Smith to force up the bad shot by Rodegaro. But you got Doug Darguzis crashing the weak side for the easy two. 3 points, Hillcrest lead 24-21. Culbreth working on Wills, and we have a blocking foul called on Doug Darguzis as Tyrone Culbreth slammed into him. We're going to say Darguzis didn't have the position.
And Kevin Lass was not like that call. Darguzis tried to get there. I think that is a good call. As Darguzis first he thought he had the charge, but he was sliding over just a tad late, blocking foul.
Culbreth to inbounds for the Hawks. Looking. Culbreth looking. Bounce pass into LaSure. LaSure backs it out. Gives it up to Culbreth, and he'll reset. Culbreth driving on the wing inside to Smith. Knocked away by Darguzis. Brought back in by O'Brien. O'Brien trying to go all the way. He will go up and score on the lay-in. Good job by Joe O'Brien, using his body, fending off the defender, and getting a two. 1 point, Hillcrest lead. Culbreth. Danny Clark about ready to check back in. Another nice steal by the Hilltoppers. Wills controls it. Wills going to go all the way. His shot is rejected, but a foul will be called.
I wasn't sure, as they're looking for goaltending, but I don't think they should, as that's a good block there by Walter LaSure. It is on the bodies. He goes up, and he throws it right off the backboard as it was still going up. It didn't hit the backboard first. That's the key for goaltending. If it hits the backboard, then it's blocked, it's goaltending. But if it's blocked, then the backboard, that's a good block. Walker LaSure showing his jumping ability right there. Gets called for the body, not the block.
Ocasilli and Clark back into the lineup. And Wills will be at the line for 2 shots. Try to get Joliet Catholic to lead right back. They're down by 1, 6:15 left to go in the third quarter. Wills at the line for 2 shots. First shot on the way, off the back iron, no good. Want to remind you this game is being simulcast live in stereo on 88.7 FM WCSF. Wills will get a second opportunity. Second shot on the way and good. We're tied at 24. Here comes a somewhat of a press, but it's broken off easily. Simmons across the timeline, picked up by Freeman. Simmons, bounce pass to Ocasilli on the baseline, trying to go up, partially blocked shot. Ball being checked around. Jackson controls it out to Culbreth. Driving it into the lane. He's stripped. Ball on the court, and now a scrap for it. Radagaro comes out with it, and he gives up to O'Brien. Darguzza is still on the court, and finally gets up. Jackson on the steal. Jackson goes all the way. Blocking foul called on Darguzza. No, an offensive foul. Offensive foul called on Corey Jackson.
And Corey Jackson's hurt. As you see the steal by Corey Jackson, goes hard to the hole. In comes Darguzis, and he gets called for the offensive foul. And Kevin, I usually don't like to say that, but that's a bad call, Kevin. As Darguzis, you know, the other one was close. He might have been there, might have not. It's been questionable. But Darguzis got there late, and he crashed right into Corey Jackson as his elbow's hurting him. But that one wasn't even close.
Yeah, usually on a collision like that, it's the blocker who gets called for the foul. Darguzis kind of stepped into him. That's why it sent Clark or Jackson flying like that. But to no avail, and the Hilltoppers will have possession of the ball. Tied at 24, 5.5 to go in the third. Freeman, 2 inbounds, gets it into Wills. Wills back to Freeman. Freeman will launch the 3. Yes.
And there's a big momentum swing right there. Hillcrest didn't get the call. JC comes back with a 3-pointer.
Simmons the other way for the Hawks. Trying to go all the way. Nice dish up to Clark. Can't lay it in. Jackson is there. Reverse layup, no. He gets his own rebound, goes up. No good, but a foul is called. Wills will pick up the foul. Jackson will be at the line for 2 shots, and now bodies all over the floor.
As Radagaro is holding his head and Dargus is holding himself. As there is big contact there, no call. Right now, the referees are starting to get out of control as they don't know what to call either team. As Jackson goes up, gets the foul, and Dargus is hurt. His bodies are flying everywhere, and you know,
Radagaro looks like he doesn't know where he is. He is hurting. And I don't know why he's staying in there. He's kind of wobbly out there, as is Darguz's. But they'll shake off the cobwebs, I guess, and stay in the game.
And hopefully they can get under control right now, because it has been a great tournament thus far and a good game thus far, and we don't want it to get out of control.
Gaston comes into the lineup replacing Simmons for the Hawks, and Jackson at the line for 2 shots. Jackson's first shot on the way is good. So it's now a 2-point lead for Joliet Catholic. 5:14 left to go in the third quarter, and we're going to have a substitution now. John O'Brien replaces Darguzis in the lineup. It's a good substitution. I think Darguzis needs a rest.
At least ask him where he's at.
What day it is. Jackson's second shot is also good. 5:10 and counting left to go in the third quarter. Joliet Catholic with a 1-point lead. Wills with it on the far court. Comes to Freeman. Freeman up top, O'Brien. Now to Wills. One dribble back to O'Brien. Swings it to Freeman on the wing. Freeman tries to drive the baseline and has to back it out. Freeman coming up hobbling a little bit. Wills going into the lane. Nice pass to O'Brien, and he lays it in.
Kind of wild. It didn't get under control, but nonetheless, he gets the basket.
29-26, 4.5 minutes to go in the third. Caston Nice steal by Freeman as he took it out of his hand. Freeman going the other way. Stops. Backs it out. Culbreth. Free throw line jump on the way for Freeman. It's good.
Right there, Tyrone Culbreth, he's got to do his job better than that. He was with Kai Freeman, then he just let him go by with it, hoping for a steal, and he was kind of, cherry picking at the other end.
Gaston finds Culbreth on the baseline. Has to back it out. Good defense by Wills. Bounce pass down low. Okasili comes out to Clark. And now almost another steal by O'Brien. Slapped out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Hawks. And Caston, it'll be Clark to inbounds for the Hawks. 5-point lead for Joliet Catholic, just under 4 minutes to go. Inbounded to Okasili. Nice pass to Culbreth. Backs it out and will launch the three. Okasili called it, got it back. Caston is there, and then Jackson is able to put it back.
Corey Jackson has been the consistent for Hillcrest all tournament long.
31-28 the score. Joliet Catholic with a 3-point lead. Wills with the ball on the far court. Back to O'Brien. Now to Freeman on the near side. Back to Wills. Wills, and a holding foul will be called on Corey Jackson of the Hawks. 3.5 minutes left to go. Jackson picks up his second personal foul. Wills will leave the lineup, and he was replaced by Mike Van Tassel. 3.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Freeman inbounding, gets it into Van Tassel. Now he gives it up to O'Brien, and O'Brien will reset. Bounce pass to Freeman on the far court. Another bounce pass to Rodegaro, baseline. He's double teamed. Comes out, O'Brien. Now to Van Tassel, driving to drive the baseline, nearly picked. Runs it down. Long pass out to O'Brien. Now to Freeman. Freeman, nice pass to Rodegaro, baseline jumper, in and out, no. Tap try, no good. Clark is there for the rebound. Outlet to Culbreth. Long pass, stolen by O'Brien. And another steal by Caston as he tried the long pass. Caston across the timeline. Caston. And almost another steal. Caston controls it to Jackson. Jackson, and a blocking foul called on John O'Brien. With 2:45 left to go in the third. 31-28 the score. And I believe we're going to have a timeout on the court. Yes, we will. So we'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
The 1994 Thanksgiving Basketball Classic on the WCSF Television Network and 88.7 FM WCSF. This broadcast is underwritten in part by the John Manor Insurance Agency, home, auto, business, health, and life, 220 North Larkin Avenue, Joliet, 729-4650. Alba Builders, complete construction service, 721 Manhattan Road, Joliet, 727-3100. Amerifed, totally free checking, 10 convenient locations to serve you, 729-5000 or 727-0300. Lentz Mufflers, Brakes and Shocks, 2419 Plainfield Road, Joliet, 439-2400. Cub Foods, 1590 North Larkin and 191 South Larkin Avenue in Joliet. Bill Jacobs Joliet, Chevrolet, Geo, Chevy Trucks, Mitsubishi, Mazda, 2001 West Jefferson, Joliet. Phone 725-7110. J&F Sports Specialties, T-shirts, uniforms, sweats, accessories, 1399 Plainfield Road, Joliet, 741-8801. Pizzas by Marshaloni, 1603 North Rainer, Crest Hill. Phone 722-1616. Stopen Agazian Company Incorporated. Call and compare. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, and options. 2301 Glenwood Avenue, Joliet. 729-1266. And by Oak Graphics, full-service commercial printing. 15801 South Oak Park Avenue at the corner of 159th and Oak Park Avenue in Tinley Park. Phone 708-687-8440.
Welcome back to the College of St. Francis Recreation Center in Joliet, Illinois. 2:45 left to go in the third. Hillcrest with the ball. Clark inbounds it quickly. Culbreth, the long three, off no good. Tap try no good. Tap try again, and Corey Jackson is there to finally get it in, and it's a 1-point Joliet Catholic lead.
And that's the way to get back in this ball game for Hillcrest. Crash the boards. If you can get them, you have a chance to put them back in.
Van Tassel bounce pass to Freeman. Freeman going into the lane. His shot is rejected away. Ball on the court, and Clark comes out of there with it. Culbreth the other way, finds Jackson on the baseline. Culbreth now on the wing. Driving past Van Tassel. Wild jumper off the glass. No. Jackson is there, and we have a foul called, I believe, on John O'Brien of the Hilltoppers. And we'll see what the referee says. Yes, that's who it's on, John O'Brien.
You see the battle underneath after the wild shot. Corey Jackson's there. Who else but Corey Jackson? He is the man for Hillcrest in this tournament.
O'Brien leaves the lineup, and he will be replaced by Andy Tibbett for the Hilltoppers, and it'll be Jackson to line for 2 shots, trying to give Hillcrest the lead back. Also, Rodagero leaves the lineup, and Darguzes is back in. Jackson at the line for 2 shots. Hillcrest down by 1. First shot on the way is good. We're tied at 31. Jackson. Second shot on the way, also good. And it's a 1-point Hillcrest lead. O'Brien across the timeline finds Van Tassel. Van Tassel up top, Freeman. Swings it to Darguzes. Baseline jumper on the way. Hits the front iron, no good. Jackson comes down with it, and we have a foul, I think, over the back on Joliet Catholic. We'll see who this one will be on. It's going to go on Andy Tibbett, his first.
You see the missed shot there by Darguzes. Battle underneath. Good position by Corey Jackson, and the foul.
Minute 52 left to go in the third quarter. Culbreth across the timeline, and Culbreth is going to get called for too many steps as he lost control of the ball, and it'll go back over to the Hilltoppers. Freeman gets it into O'Brien, and the Hilltoppers will move it across. Freeman on the near court. Cross-court pass to Van Tassel. He saves it from going out of bounds. Nice pass down low to Darguzes. Ball on the court, picked up by Culbreth. Now to Caston. The Hawks the other way. Nice pass. Jackson on the baseline, driving the baseline, and a holding foul going to be called on O'Brien or Darguzes of the Hilltoppers. It's going to go on Darguzes. Or excuse me, O'Brien, and that's number 4. And he will leave the lineup replaced by Matt Narducci.
Right now, Hillcrest, Joliet Catholic's got to use the Gary Bell rule. And right now, the Gary Bell rule is find Corey Jackson, put a body on him, keep him off the boards, find him offensively, because right now he's everything for Hillcrest.
Inbound stolen away by Joliet Catholic. Van Tassel the other way. Nice pass to Freeman on the baseline. Freeman double teamed, trying to get through it, and reach-in foul called as Freeman tried to get between the defenders there. Either Clark or Culbreth. It's going to go on Danny Clark.
That'll be his fourth personal foul.
So Freeman will inbounds. 1:13 left to go, and Joliet Catholic down by 1. And Greg Simmons will re-enter the lineup, replacing Danny Clark. Clark will probably sit down for the rest of this third quarter. Freeman gets it into Van Tassel. Caston on the defense. Van Tassel gives it up to Narducci, now to Freeman, back to Narducci. Now to Van Tassel. He loses it on the court, trying to run it down. Coming out of there, and finally Tibbett runs it down. And Tibbett was going to get, thought he was going to get called for a walk, but Corey Jackson is going to pick up the push-off foul. And for Corey Jackson, that will be number 3.
Not a smart play there by Simmons. He makes the steal, but an errant pass. Hold it, maybe call a timeout. He just throws away Tibbet. Easy steal for him, and Corey Jackson to clearly the foul.
Freeman gets it into Narducci. He'll launch the three, a little bit short, and it goes over the backboard, and it'll go to the Hawks. Hawks continue to lead by 1, 32-31, with 53 seconds left to go in the third. Caston at the controls for the Hawks. Brings it across the timeline. Freeman picks him up on defense. Culbreath on the baseline. Up top, Simmons. Simmons into the lane, running to front of the way, rimming and good.
Good job by Simmons, flashing the ball, taking the hole, getting it two.
Joliet Catholic will probably go for one with 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Van Tassel. Nice pass down low to Darguzes, loses it on the court, gets it out to Freeman. Freeman, free throw line jumper, blocked. Hawks the other way, Caston. Stops, goes inside to Jackson. All the way, layup is good.
What a good job, Jackson, the last man down the court. Caston finds the trailer, Jackson gets the two.
Narducci races it across, gives it up. Tibbet will launch the three, in and out, no. And that is the end of the third quarter. The Hawks 36 and the Hilltoppers 31. Let's take a break and be back with a fourth and final quarter right after this.
This tournament is underwritten in part by the Greater Joliet Area YMCA, 749 Humboldt Road, Joliet, 729-9638. Glenwood Marathon, an American company serving you, a super service center. Glenwood and Republic, Joliet. Phone 744-1651. Ace Lawn and Vacuum Hardware. Sales, parts, service on most brands. 316 Republic, Joliet. 744-4000. David Nelson Exquisite Jewelry, 1312 West Jefferson Street, Joliet. Phone 741-8741. Joliet Travel and Tours Incorporated, 150 North Chicago Street, Joliet. 727-5441. Beth's Dance Academy, ballet, tap, jazz, acrobatics, 840 Plainfield Road, Joliet. Phone 722-6032. Paradise Tan. Keep your tan, get a tan, or relax and enjoy the sun. Located in the Powerhouse Plaza behind Louis Joliet Mall, 3583 Hennepin, Joliet. 439-3636. Crossroads Realty. Move with them into the 21st century. 18622 Route 59, Shorewood. 436-1111. Spezia, Ayers, Ardaw, and Wunderlich, attorneys at law, 2 Rialto Square, Suite 200, 116 North Chicago Street, Joliet, 726-4311. And McDonald's throughout the Greater Joliet area, ready to serve you.
Welcome back to the College of St. Francis Recreation Center in Joliet, Illinois. Back with the fourth and final quarter. 36-31 in favor of the Hillcrest High School Hawks. Settle in, folks. This promises to be a good fourth quarter. We'll see what both teams can come up with here, as it's only a 5-point deficit for the Hilltoppers. Coming up at the end of the ball game, we will announce our all-tournament team, along with our Team Spirit Award and the MVP. Underway in the fourth quarter. Freeman with the ball, goes to Van Tassel on the far court. Down, up top, Darguzes, turnaround jumper, got it.
Darguzes has been quiet, tries to pick it up now.
Caston will work it across for the Hawks. Freeman on the defense, finds Culbreath on the baseline. Up top, Jackson. Down low, Okasili layup is good.
Good job by Hillcrest. Take a look at the third quarter statistics. Hillcrest shot 31%, JCA 46%. Right now, Corey Jackson has 20 points, 11 rebounds.
Freeman, cross court to Van Tassel inside. Doug Cowan, his shot is rejected. Culbreath runs it down to Caston. Caston, nice pass, broken up by Cowan. Cowan the other way. Gives it up to Van Tassel. And they'll reset. Cross court to Freeman, and he runs it down inside. Cowan. Turnaround jumper. He had shot rejected again, but a foul is called. Okasili will pick that up, and that's number 5 on Chika Okasili.
Okasili has been a major factor this whole game, especially lately. He had a couple huge blocks just happen, and right there the shot got a piece of it, the body contact, and the foul.
Excuse me, that was only number 4 on Chika Okasili. And Cowan at the line for 2 shots. 38-33. A minute into the 4th quarter. Cowan's first shot is rattling out, no good. And Cowan will get a second opportunity to try to cut it to a 4-point lead. Second shot on the way is off the back iron, no good. Okasili on the board. Outlet to Culbreth. Long pass is going to sail. Gets it to Caston, and a foul before the shot. Doesn't matter, both teams in the bonus, so from here on in, it'll be free throws.
Hillcrest is going to make their opponents be well conditioned because they're going to throw that deep bomb a lot during games. And if you can't get back to defend it, you're going to be in trouble. JCA is doing a good job thus far.
Narducci picks up the foul for the Hilltoppers, his 3rd. And that is the bonus. Caston at the line for 1 and 1. First shot on the way, hits the front iron, no good. Tapped around, controlled by Freeman. Hilltoppers the other way. Freeman. Here comes the double team. Breaks out of it to Van Tassel. Bounce pass to Narducci. Baseline jumper a little bit hard. Run down by Freeman. Freeman has it picked by Caston. Caston going all the way, layup is good. Nice play there by Caston. Stripping by Freeman. Going all the way in, uncontested. 7-point lead for the Hawks. And another steal by Caston. Caston all the way, layup no good, but a foul is called. Caston will go to the line for 2. Right there, a little frustration by Kai Freeman, getting ripped 2 times in a row. And tries to go for the swat, but gets the foul. And there you see the foul on the arm. Caston goes to the free throw line. And I think Kevin Lass and the Hilltoppers have called timeout. And I don't know, they're having a discussion about whether or not it was the field goal would be counted, as Freeman got a hand on it, but I think it was still on its way up. But no matter, Hillcrest will have 2 shots at the free throw line. 40-33, 6:18 left to go in the 4th and final quarter. I want to remind you this game is being simulcast live in stereo on 88.7 FM, WCSF. Stay tuned. At the end of the ball game, we will announce our all-tournament team. We will announce our MVP of the tournament, our Team Spirit Award. And as you probably already know, Joliet Township collects their 2nd straight WCSF Radio TV Network Thanksgiving Basketball Classic crown, going undefeated in the tournament.
But it wasn't easy, Kevin, as Providence JCA gave them great battles.
You didn't figure that Joliet Catholic and Providence would give them great battles. You thought it would be Hillcrest. Hillcrest ended up getting dominated by the Steelmen.
And that happens when 2 transition teams face each other. If one can control the other, it's usually a blowout. I mean, it could have gone the other way. Hillcrest could have blown out Joliet Township by 20. Usually when you have 2 exciting teams, it usually ends up in a blowout. But Joliet Catholic and Providence did a good job of controlling the tempo versus JT. Close game, but JT prevails.
It'll be Caston at the line for 2 shots, trying to extend on the 7-point lead for the Hawks. 6:18 left to go in the 4th and final quarter. Final game of the 1994 Classic. Caston, first shot on the way is good.
Now free throws come a major part of this ball game, especially for Hillcrest. If they want to stay this game, keep their lead, you got to make your free throws.
Caston cans both free throws to make it a 42-33 lead. Still far from over, though. Van Tassel across the timeline. Cross court to Wills, who's back in the lineup. Bounce pass to Darguzes on the baseline. Down low, Cowan slapped away and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hillmen. Kai Freeman to inbounds. Gets it into Cowan along the baseline, now to Wills. Wills has it slapped out of his hands, and he controls it in the backcourt. Van Tassel with it to Freeman. Freeman will launch the 3, a little bit short. Van Tassel is there, gets the putback.
And that's what Joliet Catholic needs. If they're going to miss some shots, you got to crash the boards, get the offensive glass, and put it back in. Good job there by Van Tassel.
Culbreth the other way for the Hawks. Van Tassel on the defense. Along the baseline is Jackson. Stop. Baseline jumper, yes.
You got to stop him. If you can't stop him, Joliet Catholic might as well quit now. You got to control Corey Jackson. Joliet Catholic's doing a good job controlling everybody else, but Corey Jackson's just killing him right now.
Wills the other way. Almost another steal for Culbreth, but it sails out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hilltoppers. O'Brien into the lineup. He replaces Doug Cowan.
If I'm Joliet Catholic right now, I want somebody else to beat you, Caston or Ty Culbreth, because they've been contributors, but they're not main contributors. Take Corey Jackson out, and let somebody else beat you.
Wills, top of the key, bounce past the Van Tassel, now to Freeman. Freeman looking down low, instead drives the baseline, stop, goes out to Wills, to Darguzes. Darguzes off the glass, yes.
Good ball movement there. Freeman to Wills to Darguzes. Good job of rotation for the easy two.
Under 5 minutes to go in the game. 7 points, Hillcrest lead. Almost a steal, but Culbreth controls it to Okasili. Back to Culbreth. Culbreth splits the defenders. Goes to Simmons. The layup is good, and he's fouled.
Big basket right there, right at Darguzes. Hillcrest very undersized against this team, but takes it right at the big 6'8" Darguzes and gets the foul and the basket. As you see the penetration by Culbreth, baseline to Simmons for the 2 and the foul.
Clark re-enters the lineup, replacing Okasili for the Hawks. Simmons at the line to try to complete the three-point play, and he does. 4:45 left to go in the game. It's a 10-point lead for Hillcrest, their biggest of the night, 47-37. Van Tassel, double team, finds O'Brien. O'Brien has it stripped. Long pass to Jackson. Jackson runs it down. Nice pass to Simmons, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hawks.
Corey Jackson could have made a better play on that. He got to the ball in a hurry. That's the first thing. Get to the ball and then make the pass. The defender was all on you. The wingman was wide open, but he tried to get fancy. Get to the ball. Make the nice bounce pass for the easy 2.
Inbounded to Jackson, and now Clark. Back to Culbreth along the baseline. He's double teaming the corner. Drives the baseline. Goes up and scores anyway.
That's what I talked about. Tyrone Culbreth needs to step it up. If they're going to take Corey Jackson out, Tyrone Culbreth needs to step it up. Senior leadership, that's what it's all about.
Wills across the timeline, stops on the wing. Has it knocked out of bounds by Jackson. And kind of a late call by the official, but it'll stay with the Hilltoppers. 12-point lead now for Hillcrest. 4:09 to go in the game. Wills. Bounce pass to Van Tassel on the far court, and a blocking foul called on Tyrone Culbreth. That'll be number 3.
And JCA is still right in this ball game. They played hard in their first 2 games of this tournament. They're playing hard now. Don't give up. You played good so far. Finish hard, JCA.
Van Tassel will be at the line for 1-1. 4:01 left to go in the ball game. Van Tassel at the line, trying to cut into this 12-point lead. First one on the way is good. Coming up at the end of the game, we will announce our all-tournament team, including our MVP, our tournament champion, and our Team Spirit Award. Second shot for Van Tassel, also good. Back to a 10-point Hillcrest lead with 4 minutes on the nose to go. Culbreth at the controls for the Hawks. Picked up by Van Tassel across the timeline. Culbreth moving it into the lane, and a blocking foul going to be called on Doug Darguzes. I don't know about that one. Culbreth slammed into him, and Culbreth had got the worst of it.
And there you see Tyrone Culbreth going hard to lane. Darguzes comes across, tried to step in. I think that could have gone as offensive foul. That's a question to call, but Darguzes, good job. He takes a block as well as anyone I've seen.
Culbreth is hurt. As I said, he got the worst of it, slamming into Darguzes. Darguzes just kind of popped up, and Culbreth holding his right hand. And we have a timeout called with 3:46 left to go. 49-39 in favor of the Hillcrest High School Hawks. And what Joliet Catholic needs to do, there's still plenty of time left to go in this game. 3:46 left to go. They need to get back into this ball game, and they need to do it by playing defense first and foremost.
Yeah, defense is the key to the name of the game. Whoever plays it the rest of the game is going to win. Right now, Hillcrest has got to just continue playing the defense they are right now because they have the lead. JCA needs to go on a charge, maybe a couple three-pointers, and they need defense to spark their offense.
49-39 the score. Hillcrest with the 10-point lead with 3:46 left to go. And we will be joining Rick Lawrence at the end of the ball game. He will be announcing our tournament champion, our Team Spirit Award, and our all-tournament team, so stick around for that.
And if we had to pick a player of the game right now, it would be Corey Jackson. Corey Jackson
Definitely
has been the main man for Hillcrest, done a good job rebounding, over 10 rebounds already, and over 20 points already. He's done a good job defensively. He has been the main man. And I think right now, as we got some time, maybe give some credit to the people behind the scenes. As I said, Kevin, me and you get the spotlight, but there is our director, Cindy Rios. Scott Zabel did some directing. Camera people, Pat Keating, Corey Berkman, Lynette Osowski, Corey Berkman, as I said. So just a great job by everybody overall. And our statistician, Brian Trusty, we can't thank him enough.
Shot is good for Tyrone Culbreth, as he looks like he's okay. We'll be sure to thank just about everybody and everybody that we can at the end of the ball game, so stick around, folks. Second shot is also good for Culbreth, and it's back to a 12-point Hillcrest lead. Van Tassel across the timeline. Finds Wills on the far court. Wills trying to drive it past the defenders. Gets it into Darguzes, and a reach-in foul going to be called on Danny Clark, and that is number 5 on Danny Clark.
Well, when Danny Clark was in there, he was a factor. He did a good job rebounding and steals, but he also was a little careless at times as they're a little late getting to the ball. Darguzes was clearly fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Darguzes at the line for 1 and 1. 3.5 minutes left to go in this fourth and final quarter and the final game of the 1994 Thanksgiving Basketball Classic. Darguzes at the line. 1 and 1. First shot on the way is good as he rattles it home.
I mentioned before how all the TV people helped doing a good job, but people running the house, Rita Travis, her crew, Abby Zeke, Gina Bacan, Jen Sankey, Sarah Latta, out of Jason Switzer, Paul Popek, just numerous people. Weeks and weeks of preparation went into this tournament. Everybody did a fine job.
Second shot is good for Darguzes, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Culbreth the other way for the Hawks. Moves it past Van Tassel. Nice dish-off pass to Corey Jackson, and he lays it in on the reverse.
What a nice move by Corey Jackson. He's done it all tonight.
Wills. Emmett Smith about ready to check in for the Hawks as Wills brings it across, finds Van Tassel. Now Freeman on the baseline. Back out to Van Tassel. He will launch the three. In and out, no. Tap try no good. And rebound comes down to Okasili to Caston. We're under 3 minutes to go in the game. Caston. And a push-off foul called on Kai Freeman. Caston will go to the line for 1 and 1.
Giving thanks to the WCSF radio people. Bob Zach did a nice job. Dave Freiberg, program director. Nick Weiss doing a good job back at the studios. It was just a great group effort, and it's been a pleasure doing this tournament.
Caston's first shot on the way is rimming in. 54-41 the score, just under 3 minutes to go in the ball game. And Hillcrest, they keep this up, they will place second in the tournament, second straight year. Caston cans both free throws, and he will leave the lineup, replaced by Emmett Smith. Tom Keppel has a hand for Jason Caston. He has provided a good spark for them on offense.
And without Bradford, you know, was the backup point guard. We thought Caston might have some trouble carrying the weight, did not. Did a very good job tonight with Jason Caston.
Van Tassel, here comes the double team. Freeman will launch the three, partially blocked. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Hillmen. I think it went off the hand of Tyrone Culbreth. Freeman do inbounds. Gets it in Wills, and he'll launch the three. In and out, no. Emmett Smith runs it down. Smith, and it's going to be blocking foul called. Joliet Catholic wanted a traveling. We'll go to the other end, and Smith will shoot the free throws.
Emmett Smith, great hustle as a player, gets the loose balls, makes things happen. But if I'm Capel, instead of teaching him how to dribble, I teach him how to stay put. Stay there, hold the ball, wait for somebody to come to you. Because it's not a pretty sight watching him dribble.
Wills picks up the foul. That is his second, and Smith at the line for 1 and 1. 2.5 minutes to go in the game. First shot on the way is front iron, no good. Darguzes comes down with it, gives it up to O'Brien. Now to Wills, and they'll bring it across. Van Tassel with it, trying it into the lane. Darguzes, baseline jumper on the way, yes.
Darguzes has that little 12-footer down pat. He's hit it many times in this tournament.
Simmons in the backcourt. Gets past Freeman, and a blocking foul called on Kai Freeman. That will be 5 fouls on Freeman, and he'll leave the lineup.
That's good to see right there as Tyrone Colbert helping up Kai Freeman. As Freeman has fouled out. What a great tournament for Kai Freeman. Didn't know what to expect from him as he's going to Minnesota on a baseball scholarship, but we can tell he's dedicated to this basketball team as he's going to have a great year all the way through.
Kevin Lass will take his time in getting Kai Freeman's replacement as Freeman takes the long walk to the bench. His 5th personal foul. 2:13 left to go in the old ball game. 55-43 the score. Hillcrest with the lead, and if they can keep this up, we said they will gain 2nd place in the tournament for the 2nd straight year.
It'll be JT number 1, Hillcrest 2, JCA 3, and Providence 4. You know, just a vice versa, 3 and 4. But you know, it wasn't as on paper as what it seemed, Kevin.
Simmons at the line for 1 and 1. First shot on the way is in and out, no good. Darguz is on the board. Gets to Van Tassel. Hilltoppers the other way. Van Tassel, nice pass to Capista, and he launches the baseline jumper, in and out, no good. Okasili comes down with it, gives it up to Culbreth. We're under 2 minutes to go in the game. Culbreth. And a timeout called by Hillcrest with 1:53 left to go. Want to remind you to stick around at the end of the ball game. We will announce our all-tournament team. We'll announce our MVP, our tournament champion, and a Team Spirit Award. Just want to take this moment to personally thank everybody who was involved with this tournament, the entire Journalism and Communications Department, all our sponsors who are kind enough to underwrite this tournament. I want to thank our directors, Scott Zabel and Cindy Rios, all our cameramen, camera women, camera people, whatever you want to call it, and our graphics operators, Pat Keating, Carol Frieders, Andy Bedford, Steve Usina, Ed Przicki, just everybody who was involved, Rick Lawrence, Rita Travis, and Robert J. Zach. And Sean, it's been one hell of a good time.
It's been a great time. You know we can't do it without the underwriters. And I personally would like to thank Mark Shale for sponsoring my wardrobe throughout the tournament. Great job, guys.
1:53 left to go in this ball game. Inbounding will be Corey Jackson. Gets it into Caston. Caston calling for a clear out. Brings it across the timeline on Capista. Caston has it stripped, and a reach and foul called on either Caston or Wills. We'll see what the referee says. With 1:42 left to go. Capista picks up his first, and it'll be Caston back at the line for 1 and 1. Caston's first shot on the way, in and out, no good. Tap, try, no good. Darguzes rips it down, stolen away. Jackson can't get it to go. Tapped around. Darguzes finally controls. Wills and now Van Tassel across the timeline. Van Tassel drives the baseline, stops, pops, and hits.
What a nice one-on-one move right there for Van Tassel. Going baseline, getting his open shot, getting the 2.
10-point lead for Hillcrest, and a quick foul on Mike Van Tassel with 1:24 left to go. They'll go to the other end to shoot 1-1, and that's all Joliet Catholic can really hope for now is for some misses and for some breaks on offense.
And that's all you can hope for, and they're doing it at the right time. Still 1:24 to go. If Hillcrest misses some shot, Joliet Catholic can come down, hit a 2-pointer, hit a 3-pointer. They're right back in this ball game. So Hillcrest has to suck it up. Tyrone Culbreth, Jason Caston from the free throw line. It's where seniors hit it right now.
Culbreth misses the first free throw. Darguzas rips it down. Wills the other way to Van Tassel. Van Tassel throws it out of bounds as it sails over Aaron Capista's head. And it's really too bad that Kai Freeman has left the lineup on personal fouls because they really could use his help out there. Good ball handler, but he's out of the lineup, fouled out of the game. Hawks will control it. Jackson into Culbreth. Culbreth working on Van Tassel, runs it across the timeline, and we have a reaching foul called on Van Tassel with 1:09 left to go, and Culbreth will go right back to the free throw line.
And it'll be Van Tassel's second personal foul. At the other end, JCA, they did a good job. Capista is the three-point shooter on the floor. He was in the corner, but Van Tassel made a bad pass. You got to take what's given to you by the defense. They're going to let you have the twos. They're not going to let you have any threes. So if they let you go right to the hole, make the two, come back and foul.
Culbreth hits the back iron, no good. Darguzas rips it down, and Emmett Smith is going to get called for a foul. Will go to the other end to shoot free throws.
I personally tell Emmett Smith, thank you for JCA. That's not what you do. You don't want to stop the clock. That'll just give the team a chance to get 2 points and possibly, cut the lead down. That's not a smart play there at all by Emmett Smith.
Darguzas will be at the line for 1-1. 1:07 left to go. 10-point lead for the Hawks. Darguzas at the line. First shot on the way and good. So it is now under double figures for Hillcrest. And Joliet Catholic refusing to die here in this last ball game. Darguzas' second shot on the way, also good. Here comes a full court press. Long pass to Okasili. Okasili all alone, and he jams it home.
And that's a great way to break the press with the bomb. Okasili, very athletic, comes down and finishes it with authority.
And almost another steal by Culbreth as he gets in front of the pass to Darguzas. Back to a 10-point lead.
And there you see the bomb. Okasili comes up skies, slams it home. A very excited Hillcrest bench.
Under a minute to go in the game. 10-point lead for Hillcrest. Capista looking, gets it in to Van Tassel on the baseline. Comes back out. Another steal by Hillcrest. Okasili. It's a 3-on-1. Culbreth. He'll back it out wisely, and a foul will be called on Capista as he reached in with 45 seconds left to go, and Culbreth will be at the line.
Right there, smart play by Okasili. Had the 2-on-1, but you don't need the points right now. You need to kill the clock. He brought it back out to Culbreth. He gets the foul, and you have a good free throw shooter on the line.
First shot on the way, hits the front iron, no good. Tapped around, controlled by O'Brien. Hilltoppers the other way. And O'Brien brings it across the timeline. And another steal. Simmons. Nice pass down low. Jackson goes all the way, scored! And no, they're going to wave it off, saying he traveled.
That's a good call there by the official. Hillcrest a little bit too fancy. Simmons, what he should have done is brought it back out. They made too many passes, and Jackson couldn't get his feet settled, and the travel. That's a good call by the official.
Van Tassel across the timeline, moves it past, splits the defender, stops, free throw line jumper on the way, in and out, no. Smith on the board. And with 21 seconds left to go, another foul. Mike Van Tassel picks it up. .21 seconds left to go on this one. Smith at the line for 1-1. 10-point lead for Hillcrest. They can keep it up. They'll place second in the tournament. Smith, first shot on the way, hits the front iron, no. But Hillcrest is there, goes up, no good on the shot for Simmons. But Simmons will go to the line as he was fouled.
And what a surprise Greg Simmons has been in this tournament. We look for Corey Jackson, senior leader Tyrone Colbert. We thought he might be the one to watch. He's had an okay tournament, but he's been in foul trouble. Greg Simmons has stepped it up. He's averaging nearly 15 points a game in this tournament. He's done a good job for Hillcrest in the supporting role.
First shot is no good for Greg Simmons, but he will get a second opportunity. Try to make the lead 11. Second shot on the way is good. 58-47 the score. 18 seconds left to go. Van Tassel finds Wills on the far court. Van Tassel, Capisa launches the three. In and out, no. Darguzis is there. Turnaround jumper, no good. Ball on the court, and it'll stay with the Hilltoppers with 7 seconds left. Capista to inbounds. Gets it in, long pass to Wills, inside Darguzis. Turnaround jumper, can get it. 2 seconds, 1. And that is the end of the old ball game and the end of the old tournament. We'll take a break, but stick around. We've got our all-tournament team coming up.
After placing third in the tournament, Hillcrest goes on to win its 7th consecutive conference championship, but falls short in state series play. Many players went on to have very productive lives, working in a wide range of fields, from being professional football players to tech gurus. And that's the end of this week's show. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check your local listings for the upcoming 2015-2016 season. And tune in next time as we bring you another edition of the Hawk Archives. Until next week, everyone.